Video.
Hey, are you looking good?
Hello.
You're looking good. So nice
Hi.
to finally meet you. Oh, you got your wine? I got
I'm
some.
sorry.
Nah, you good. You good. Let's get it. Okay. So first of all, thank you for, taking your time to meet with me, talk with me, share your side of the story, speak your piece. I
Right.
appreciate it because it does take a lot of courage. It does take a lot of, you know, strength to do that. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and I've kind of been really, really like hesitant.
I kind of figured because, which is understandable, totally. That's why I did want to like press it because I was like, okay, like this is sensitive. At the end of the day, it is, public and crazy, but it's still your family and it's still a lot that you still have to deal with behind closed doors. And
yeah, I've been really, really and in the beginning it kind of was a sensitive subject. And obviously you have to let people see things from their point of view, without placing any judgment or without trying to like force a person to kind of understand where you're coming from. And so I didn't, I just allowed everybody to grieve freely, even the people that we don't know personally, even the people that didn't know my mom personally and she didn't know them personally. Like, I just had an open heart to allowing people to grieve however they wanted to grieve. Some people sent pictures, some people sent flowers, some people, they play different roles in, showing that they were genuinely sad that my mom had passed.
man,
And we allowed that, and it was a beautiful thing. Even for the funeral, we didn't have like a huge funeral, but the people that wanted to be there, they were there, and people that couldn't be there, obviously they sent their love and condolences from wherever they were. So I'm grateful for that. I just wanted to say that, and I believe that like we all are grateful for that.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like the average person, when somebody in their family dies, they don't. I feel like it's nice to have an outpouring of people who actually love Frankie as well,
Mhm.
to be able
Right.
to share their love with you guys. And
Yeah.
I bet that's just like a great feeling too. Obviously, it doesn't change anything, but I bet it's just so nice to have like that just outpouring of love from people because that's the most important thing when times are hard. Is like the
Yeah,
love.
and it took
Because
a while to realize that she was gone, like because the love was so freaking genuine, and like everybody like really like, like um it kind of felt like she was still here for a moment, because all of these people were like pouring out, their hearts and expressing like the fact that they were, like they felt this, and it made like a big impact on a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so grateful. Like it made it feel like she was still here for the first like few weeks,
yeah.
and then it obviously hit me. I don't know how long it took for my other siblings to realize like, okay, mom's gone, but it took like a minute. It took like some weeks for it to really, really hit me. I think like around the time that we were like kind of getting ready to actually physically get up and go to the funeral, I'm like, I'm going to my mom's funeral.
Man,
Yeah.
that's a different feeling. So before we get to that aspect of stuff, your
Yeah.
Instagram got deleted.
My Instagram is totally gone. It was deleted at 90K. I've had my run-ins over the last few years with just like the IG police or whatever. And so they warned me over years, that I couldn't say this and I can't say that, and this is inappropriate and this is not appropriate. And I had a choice that day to keep quiet, and I chose to speak out. Unfortunately, some of the words that I used went against the guidelines. And so they completely deactivated. They said I cannot think appeal in 30 days or something like that, but it's all good. So I'm kind of like IG detoxing, even though I did create a backup.
I was gonna say, where can the people find you on IG?
Yeah, it's at I Elite Noel official. So it's kind of the same as was I Elite Noel. So I just kind of put the official on the end. So it's still real simple and easy to find me. But yeah, they deactivated my account, and I promised myself from that experience that, I am a public figure. I'm not like this big time famous person or celebrity or anything of that nature, but people are watching and it matters. And I just need to use my platform for a more positive thing, more positive. But I'm gonna pop my shit. Don't get it twisted now. And I'm known for popping my shit.
As you should.
I'm here to pop my shit.
Okay. As you should. I feel like everybody should be entitled to pop their shit, without having to feel censored or get shut down. Because, a lot of people been popping a lot of stuff and their Instagram's still here.
I know. And that's so weird. It's like, I'm not out here like completely naked. I'm not out here like, just this and that. Is just like, I'm literally defending myself.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing. And it's like, okay, and this gets taken for content, but I know my page was flagged, purposely. I was going to say,
do you think people reported your page, or was it just kind of Instagram?
My brother has his little following now. He's like, I think he's like 16,000 followers. It took him forever to get to that point. So it's like, he's indulging in those followers. And I'm not trying to, he can't, he didn't earn or disturb the people who are watching him. And I'm not trying to say he doesn't have a voice, but this ain't it.
This ain't the way.
Yeah. And just getting on social media and bold-faced lying, first and foremost, is not okay. Especially when there's other people involved. And these people know that you're on this platform simply bold-faced lying. It's just not okay. Yeah. And others are choosing not to speak out. And then there's me. And I'm like, nah, this shit's not cool. So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Anybody have any answers or concerns or questions? Let's talk about it. Obviously him and I cannot have a decent conversation. I've tried several times since my mom has passed and it has not worked. Sam is purposely doing what he's doing. And I hate the word clout. I just feel like it's an attention thing. Like, and I feel like he doesn't have any other way to express whatever it is that he's trying to express, because I'm really confused just like everybody else. Like, I'm super confused. There's a lot of things that were said and I'm just like, what the fuck? I can curse, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where the fuck is this coming from? Like, I'm confused. And I know, like, normally I do only speak for myself, but I have to say this, like, there's several of us that is completely confused as to where this behavior first and foremost came from. And second of all, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna because you're more experienced than I am with this. So I'll let you just kind of like,
no, girl, you're good.
To get into it or whatever, if you have any questions or whatever. But it's just like, it's time for me to speak. And after this, I'll be done with it, but some things have to be discussed. Yeah. You can't be out there just throwing out, you know what I'm saying? This and this and this, and then creating a fucking shit show based upon my mom's death. Like, like you just throw a complete shit show and you invite us and we decline and now you're upset.
Yeah. And it's crazy too, because in the beginning when, I was, obviously I've been following all this stuff.
Right.
I was like, okay, Sam's coming out, speaking his piece, like, fine, okay. But then I felt like it became a point where it was just becoming bashful and it was kind of becoming just unwarranted.
Ignorant. Disturbing.
Very disturbing. Very disturbing.
Creepy. You know what I'm saying? Like, scary. First and foremost, because it's like, for a person just to really, I'm confused as to what the problem was. And supposedly him and I are beefing or at war because I crossed him. And I'm trying to like, you wanted us to throw a fuck Keyshia party because this is what it all boils down to. Let's get this shit clear and put this shit on the table. He wanted me and my siblings to throw a fuck Keyshia party as soon as my mom died. And first and foremost, we were like, okay, now is not the time to even focus on one person in particular. That's first and foremost. Because my mom had 7 children. She didn't have 1, she didn't have 2, she didn't have 3. It's 7 of us in all. And I don't feel like nobody was more less or greater than the other. You know what I'm saying? So for you to pull up the morning that my mom died, first of all, you went to TMZ and told TMZ that my mom died of an overdose. We hadn't known what
So
my mom
TMZ
died
didn't
from.
contact him like he said? He contacted them?
Okay, so you gotta let's make this make sense, okay? Here you are, upcoming rapper or whatever, and you've been trying to get your cell phone, you know what I'm saying, in the industry and in that field. If you had TMZ on speed dial, you would have been front and center of TMZ. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. At the end of the day, if they had you on speed dial, you would have been, like you would have been connected in your music and et cetera, like
with somebody.
No, regardless to whether, I'll say this, even if TMZ, which they didn't because we all know the truth, even if TMZ hadn't have, or would have contacted Sam for cause of death, we still didn't know. Sam hadn't seen his mom.
Wasn't that the day of?
He hadn't seen his mom in months. He hadn't talked to her since my birthday was the 12th. My mom died July 18th, which was her birthday. Wow. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, you were not there. I wasn't even there when my mom passed. I was just the closest to her, you know what I'm saying, at the time. And I was able to get to her house in time. Yeah. At the end of the day, like, he wasn't there. So you can't tell them what your mother died from because you were not there. You understand what I'm saying? So to give a statement before you even knew if it was true or false, you know what I'm saying? That was heartbreaking for me. I don't know about anybody else. And he tried to kind of get back at me with, well, you was the first to tell the internet that mom died, but I didn't never say where my mom died from. Yeah. My heart was fucking broken. And just like we express anything else on social media, I expressed that I was in this place. And I knew that other people were gonna be affected and feel saddened by what had transpired. It was a fucking tragedy. And I admit, I said, hey, my mom is gone. I had every right to speak. I'm a grown ass woman. I had every right to say something because that was the truth at the time. I never said the cause of death because I didn't even know. Yeah.
Obviously at that point, like,
we just got the official statement back a few weeks ago.
Yeah. I was going to say at that point, like, she had just passed. So there wasn't even an autopsy or anything performed by then.
And you weren't there. You weren't there. So you can't say, oh, she did this or she did that. She did this. She was not partying yet. My mom was just doing what she normally does. You understand what I'm saying? The party was supposed to be the day of, which was the reason why I was there. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't at her home at the time, but I went and gave her a few things that she needed for her party, which would be the next day. She requested a block party. Mm-hmm. And myself and a few other friends and family members, was gonna surprise her with this big block party. And unfortunately, she never made it. So a cause of death and, my mom was turned up at her party the night before, that was not true. I seen my mom 5:00, July 17th. My mom passed in the middle of the night, July 18th. Okay. None of her children knew what she had died from. You can assume, and you can say, hey, I think that it was this, or because she did this, maybe this could be it, but we did not know the official cause of death.
Yeah.
So, you know,
That's true. At the same time, too, you know, TMZ, they kind of be flipping people's words sometimes. So,
and it's
I
all
mean,
good. Like, it's all good. We got past that.
yeah.
But Sam continued to throw what, you know what I'm saying? He continued to make everything a shit show. And then he kind of pulled my brother Ellis along. And I'm not sure where he came in the equation because I don't even know Ellis. Sam doesn't know Ellis. They're just like getting this new relationship, and it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? If it's a positive thing, like you guys are coming together, and it's been negative ever since. Yeah. Like we don't know Ellis. My mom didn't know Ellis. Ellis didn't know my mom. We've seen him all of 3 or 4 times. I could be miscounting, but it wasn't any more than a few times that he's even been involved or engaged with any of us, for that matter. I mean, I think that's Ellis is living with Sam now or something like that. I really don't know, but because I haven't, spoke to even him. You know what I'm saying? He like was trying to throw a shit show with Sam, and he's like ranting and raving, and he's like on blogs and going on Instagram, and I'm like, you didn't even care. Like you was just living your life, and all of a sudden, your voice.
He did come out of the woodwork a little bit.
Everybody's, you know what I'm saying? Like, huh? I'm sorry.
I said he did kind of come out of the woodwork a little bit.
No, that's not a little bit. That's even for me. And I'm his sister.
Yeah.
Like where you been? And where what?
See, that's I kind of wanted to talk about like the dynamic of your guys' relationship growing up. Like, so were you guys all like raised in like the foster system, or did Frankie raise any of you guys?
Unfortunately, Frankie didn't fully raise any of it. A little bit with Neffy, and God bless Neffy heart, because Neffy had it the hardest, and she was some things, and experienced some things that I couldn't imagine. And by her being the firstborn, she was able to see some things and experience some things that is like whoa, Neff, like you went through this, and so you were able to, like she was there some of the time that, while my mom was going through what she was going through, in the streets and things of that nature. Yeah. And just she experienced like my mom being addicted firsthand. And then I think it was Keyshia. Oh yeah, it was Keyshia, and she was able to experience, but no, I was raised by, I'm not sure who raised Ellis. I don't know if he ever went to the foster system, but I know he was raised by someone else. My little sister, Tifa, and my little brother, Robert, they were raised together.
Okay. So they have the same dad, or they were just like in the same, they were just raised together?
Yeah, I won't get into those type of details, but they were raised in the same home growing up.
Okay.
So they were actually able to grow up together.
Okay.
Tifa and Robert. Sam, his father raised him, which obviously, it's no secret that his father, Big Sam, obviously was in a relationship with my mom, but he was also her pimp as well.
Okay.
So there's a lot of backstories to the story. You know what I'm saying? And we beat all day if everybody wanted, the backstory to be up front, but that's just not reality. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was raised by a beautiful adoptive family. Nice. Keyshia was raised, by who she was raised by, and Neffy, obviously she was still like with my mom in the streets and my grandmother. And then I think Neffy ended up, kind of, going to a different family as well. But my mom didn't raise any of her kids. Okay. Yeah.
So did you guys didn't have a relationship then growing up? Like, did you guys know each other existed? Like, or was it just?
Well, some of us did, some of us didn't. Like, I didn't, like find out I was even adopted until I was like 12, 13.
Oh, wow.
So it was just like some of us did, some of us didn't. And then, like I said, you know, I would rather everybody tell their own story. But if we're gonna tell these stories, I would rather it be, and not respectfully, the truth. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Because certain people can't confirm certain things. Don't place things in there that you want to be in there because it makes you feel good or look good. Like, not if you're gonna tell a story, I would rather it be honest, genuine.
No matter how ugly it is, no matter how crazy, just keep it truthful.
That's all. And yeah, you know, my mom struggled with a lot of things, and drugs was one of them. Who cares? You know, we ended up not judging her towards, you know, in the end. I know I loved her for exactly who she is, accepted her flaws. And I believe we all did. But there was no little eyes and big U's, or big U's and little eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that my mom loved any of us more separately. And I don't think like, oh, one of the siblings had a greater love than I for my mom. I feel like it was all equal. And my brother tried to, you know, like tell me and my sisters that my mom told him before she died that she didn't like us and she didn't want us at the funeral, which is fucking foolishness and foolery. And it's just hateful, because at the end of the day, even if she did tell you these things or whatever, like, why would you even want to repeat that? Why would you even want to add injury to insult? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you want to even cause more hurt on a group of people who's already hurting?
Yeah, I don't
if
know.
that makes sense. But you say you love us, and you also say you loved your mother, but it's like, this is not what she would have wanted at all.
So before,
you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not, I've never talked about death with my mom, so I'm not trying to say that Sam didn't talk about death with my mom, but whatever y'all talked about, you could have kept that to yourself. Why would you even want to try to tell me or nephew or Keyshia, whoever, that our mom said, oh, she didn't like any of us, she didn't want any of us at her funeral? Like, who the hell wants just Sam at their funeral? Like, come on, like it just, certain things became just like repetitiously absurd. Like, you're fucking crazy at this point. You understand what I'm saying? And then you're like trying to say we're all broke and this thing, but you're, you know, and your sister is outdated and all this thing. And it's like, she paid for your mother's entire funeral. You know what I'm saying? That's love. So, and we did it, and only 4 of us got together and planned this. It was only me, Keyshia, Neffy, and Robert planning this entire service. Like, from day one to up until now, it's still us 4.
I was
grieving together and trying to heal together.
So was everyone originally a part of the planning, or are you guys kind of just,
of course,
connected?
But then Sam got on the internet, he's like, oh, he just got on there and just started lying and stuff. He's like, oh, there's gonna be 2 funerals. And we're like, we didn't even pay him no mind, because we're like, this is not the time to even, you know, he's a clown. It was like, we're not gonna even entertain the foolishness.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting sick with COVID and everything. And, you know, like, it was just like, my siblings were worried about me and everything. And it was just like, I had to push through it. But God is good. Like, I was able to get through like the worst time of my entire life. Like, that was like the worst. And he literally made it, he tried to make it hard for not only myself, but a few of us. And it's like, you want us to hate Keyshia, but you don't even hate Keyshia. Like, you want us to hate her, you know what I'm saying? But you don't even hate her.
Has he always had
to dislike her, but you don't even dislike her? I'm sure me and Keyshia have had our little disagreements and things of that nature, but like, I've never hated my sister, and I've never tried to like recruit other people to feel the way I felt. Like, I feel like I feel this way. This is my life. This is my reality. I feel this way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I've always said it. Like, I'll get over it. And I'm over it now. Our mom passed. Who can even hold a grudge during those type of times? You know what I'm saying? Like, who can even hold a grudge during this time? You know what I'm saying? And then you this big baller and you this, that, but you didn't put a penny on your mother's funeral. You know, you showing the lake house and you showing this money, and you showing all the cars and all this shit, but you didn't drop $1 on your mother's funeral. You didn't even send no flowers. I don't even think he knows where my mom is buried.
Wow.
To be honest. So you was this big fan of my mother's, but you got a few videos that you took, you know, the last occasions that you were with her, but we all can prove that. You don't get a trophy for being a man or considered a real nigga or a gangster, because gangsters take care of their mamas. Real ones, real niggas take care of their families. You know what I'm saying? They do that, and they don't look for no reward or no trophy for that. So I'm trying to figure out what is it that Sam wants. He wants some, maybe he wants more followers. Maybe he wants his music career to become successful. I don't know what he wants, but this ain't how to get it. This is not it.
Yeah.
It's just not it.
So has Sam,
it's not it.
Has he always had like this kind of like tension for Keyshia?
Yeah,
before like your mom passed, or
yeah, and then this is Sam's thing. He's like the master of manipulation. It's like I'm pretending to hate her, but to her, I'm behind closed doors. I'm like the biggest fan in the whole wide fucking world.
I know,
you know what I'm saying? That's the type of role Sam plays.
He had
like
you
don't have to be like overly obsessed with your sister. You're her brother. You don't have to be like overly obsessed. You don't have to put Keyshia Cole on your bio. You don't have to do these things. You don't have to every day you wake up, get up and base it upon her. Like you don't have to do that. And now I've been thrown in it. And you know what I'm saying? I'm down a war with him because I don't have a reason to lie or to, you know, guys. Now I can't gain nothing from this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We lost the ultimate thing, and that was our mother. Like there's no gain in this type of situation. It's a lose-lose situation for me. You see what I'm saying? My mom is gone.
Yeah.
And we can't get her back. I lose.
Everybody
lost. It's not a game for me. I can't gain anything from this. But to show people that it could partially be done. And it was done. We got along, us four. My mom wanted all 7, and then it didn't happen, you know? But us 4 were able to get together and peacefully and respectfully. I commend Keyshia, I commend nephew, and I definitely my brother Robert. Oh my God, he's big brother now for me, because he played such a traumatizing, you know, like it was really traumatic, and he was trying to be the peacemaker, and he was trying to be, you know, the tough guy things, but he was like the only one out of my mom's sons that carried her casket. I feel some sort of way about that. Because Sam, if you wanted to show some masculinity, or you wanted a trophy, you should have been there helping your little brother carry your mother's casket. But we're not there. You and Ellis was on live while my mom's homegoing was going on. Very highly disrespectful.
So the day of her funeral, you guys knew that the two of them were not coming, or was it like up until a certain point you thought they were coming?
Show up anyway. I figured Ellis was not gonna come because what has Ellis showed up to? I think he, you know, a few things, but he had already said in the beginning that, you know, his grandmother and grandfather died, which we found out that was like some crazy. It's just a lot of things, you know, that I could say, and I'm choosing not to. But he had already made it clear that like he was in another state and whatever. Like, I don't know what he was on, but I was like, okay, cool. Damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah.
But as far as Sam, like he was making it seem like we was having 2 funerals, and I'm like, it's only one body. How can we split mom up? That's impossible. And then he's like, oh, we found a way. And then I had spoke to him. This is crazy because even before I had talked to Keyshia or whatever, the day my mom died, I was like, yo, we got to bury my mom. And he was talking about GoFundMe and all kind of weird shit. And I'm like, what? Like, my mama don't need no GoFundMe. Like, I'm not rich, but I'm not like the poorest person either.
Yeah.
And like we not doing no GoFundMe. Like we don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And no shame or no shade to anybody that has ever needed to do that to bury a loved one. my heart goes out genuinely to those people. But I was like, GoFundMe, like, do you hear what you're saying? You a boss, right? Like, how are you talking about GoFundMe? Like, it was just all weird. And then he was talking about a credit card that he had $20,000 on, and I'm like, okay, run it. And whatever I gotta run with that, let's do it. But he was just so focused on Keyshia, and I couldn't focus on that at the time because my life is then based around one particular person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna get it however, and I'm not gonna wait on anybody.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at him like, I thought you were the same person, but you're telling me and you're bragging about what you have, but you're not trying to run it. So I don't want to hear nothing you talking about. He just based it around Keyshia. Fuck Keyshia, fuck Keyshia, fuck Keyshia. And I'm being honest. And I tell Keyshia, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Like, this is what was going on. It was a fuck Keyshia party with Sam. And we were all confused, like, bro, it's not the time.
Yeah.
It's not time. This is not time to pour your feelings out on the table. You know what I'm saying? For something that happened a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We're not doing that right now. Like, mom is gone. Hello, it's not about you. And Sam wanted it to be about him. He was not the last person that took care of my mom or did anything for my mom. Really, the streets did. Her boyfriend was there for her, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? My mom ended up going to a program and getting her apartment on her own. That didn't come from her children. That came from her genuinely wanting to do the right thing.
Yeah.
We didn't have no say-so or no dealings in that. She did that on her own. So I'm not gonna allow anybody to take the credit from my mom because she did that.
So do you think Sam is doing all of this, like you said, for attention?
Yes.
Because he is saying, like you said, he's the last one to take care of her these last few years.
He's taken care of my mom for the last 10 years. You haven't even been on the last 10 years. I was taking care of you at some point, Sam.
He did mention that too.
Yeah, while we was in Atlanta. Like, and then for you to diss me and say, oh, she's this and she's Section 8 and all this and all that. Okay, hey, look, what does that have to do with you being honest about what you're saying? My living situation has nothing to do with you being a clown or a cornball. So I've never been homeless a day in my life. So why he said that, I'm not sure. And it's all good. You know, people throw whatever they feel that makes you look bad out there. And it's not the first. He's not the first and he probably won't be the last. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of people see through it.
My mom got her spot because she wanted this for herself. And she did it. You know what I'm saying? She did that. And I need people to know that. Like, my mom was working towards getting herself together. She loved all of us. She loved us. She loved us. She wanted to make Keyshia proud and happy. She wanted to make Nephi smile. She wanted to be able to do for her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wanted this for herself and she wanted us to get along and she wanted us to love on each other. I don't care what happened in the past. I know my mom did not want what my brother said she wanted.
So at what point?
She did say that it had to be in a time that my mom was not sober. I know this in my heart.
So did your mom go to rehab like Sam said? He said she was clean like right before she passed and then she kind of relapsed.
My mom wasn't clean before she passed, which is the reason why my mom passed.
Yeah. At what point did you and Sam's relationship kind of change? Because he said that y'all
were like my mom died.
He literally said y'all were like best friends before.
The day my mom died. I've been loving on Sam. I've been a shoulder for Sam to cry on. You know, I must admit, when Sam had his seizures, he had like this plethora of seizures and shit. Like, I didn't. I wasn't there for him then because it was like a lot of things I was mentally going through. You know what I'm saying? But I tried to be a sister for Sam when his other sisters didn't want to. Like, I tried to do that. And I think that you know what I'm saying? And I did it genuinely, you know? But, you know, I can't agree with everything a person says and does. And the things that he's doing now, I can't agree with it. It's not okay. It's not cool. And I want him to stop. I really do. You know what I'm saying? And I want him to get help. Because there has to be, like, you know, and I'm not trying to put myself on the pedestal because this shit I'm working on. It's shit that we all gotta work on. But this is not like, when it comes to my heart is good, and God knows my intentions, and my intentions has always been pure. And I've always wanted my family to show everybody like, nah, it doesn't have to always be a negative look. When it comes to us, like, it doesn't have to be that. Like, I want people to be like, damn, they overcame that. I want people to be like, damn, like, they did what we rooted against, because a lot of people rooted against us. You know what I'm saying? And they still are. And I feel like he's proven them right on his behalf. And then there's us who's like, nah, we do got some sense over here. Nah, we do got a lot of love in our hearts over here. Nah, we do got a lot of forgiveness in our hearts over here. Nah, we do want to help each other heal over here. You know what I'm saying? And then there's them. I mean, and it's not like a separation thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we all were open arms at some point, you know, but a lot of people still have a lot of hatred and resentment and bitterness and stuff, you know, in their character, and he got to cleanse it. He has to, if he wants better for himself mentally, because you can have money, you can have cars, you can have this, you can have that, and still lose your goddamn mind. And I think he's lost his goddamn mind at this point. And that's the most valuable thing to gain or lose. Like, to have, you know, to be strong mentally, that's a very powerful and valuable thing. But
especially when you project yourself and you live your life in the media, that's like, that just adds on top of it. Like, it's already hard enough living life, but having all these outlets and people just saying stuff and creating narratives just makes everything worse.
Even if he wasn't Keyshia Cole's brother, you know, I still think that Sam could make it. You know what I'm saying? I think he's talented enough to make it, but
he should put that energy into his music. A lot of people in his comments were like,
bullying your sisters on social media, bullying your sisters on social media is not the way. That's not gangster. It's not real. It's not okay. And yeah. And anybody who agrees, and I looked at, and I've watched like people like literally, you know, pat him on the back for being so verbal, you know, and so strong for telling his side of the story. It's like, what? Like, what? I'm so confused. Like, how are you guys condoning this type of fucking behavior?
Man, I think a lot of people see through it because, I mean, I don't know if you've been following my stories, but I'd be calling Sam out because he, like I said, it just comes to a point that it's just,
and I thank you.
And it's just not like a one-sided story.
But for just knowing right is right and wrong is wrong.
Period.
It's really simple.
Period.
You're not doing anything wrong. You just going how you see it. This is right and this shit is wrong.
Yeah. Especially at this time.
It's wrong. It's wrong. And if we don't want to hear the shit that you put on the internet, then just leave us alone in general. Don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that has to do with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Don't get a trophy or no reward for doing something for your mom.
Yeah.
You don't. Because I did things. Nephew has done things. Keyshia for sure. We all know that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She's the person who even showed my mom and even myself a whole new lifestyle and world. Yeah, I was mad at Keyshia for whatever I was, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't, that's not how I, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, I never felt like, oh, this is a permanent thing. Disagreement, people move different. It's all good. It's all love in the end. And one day, if God permits, I felt like, you know, things would change. I just hate that they had to change under these circumstances. Man,
yeah, it is really sad. Have you talked to Sam since, or?
Yeah, I actually talked to Sam the other day because I kind of wanted, he had sent my OnlyFans to a few of my siblings or whatever, and was acting like this was a bad thing. I'm like, bro, I'm about to be back heavy on all social media platforms. Why are you even subscribing to my OnlyFans anyway? That's creepy. And then he remembered, and it goes back to him throwing out the accusations about all his sisters love him and want to be with him. Now you're fucking weird.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, like it's like what?
Yeah, so I don't know what prompted him to bring any of this up, but this is something that personally that I did not know. He did make the allegations against
He did.
Neffy, and he did bring
A
up
few
the
years
fact
ago,
that you
about this, right? A few years ago, he made some allegations towards Neffy, right? And me and Neffy was not speaking on speaking terms then. And our relationship was really, really freaking rocky. And I felt like, Sam put his right hand up, and I was just like, cool. I believed it, and when you believe things, obviously, you repeat them. And so I was trying to get to the bottom of it. And it got really ugly while I was trying to get to the bottom of it. I apologized to Neffy for it. You know what I'm saying? And we got past it. So like Sam can't bring up an old tweet or an old IG post or anything or old text message or anything that I've ever said previously, because I said what I said when I said it.
Yeah.
Things has changed. It's because, we got to the bottom of it.
Okay, so that's absolutely not true.
My nephew and I got to the bottom of it. And just like he's fucking lying now about every fucking thing that he can possibly lie about, I'm assuming that he lied then. Yeah. And so I apologize to nephew for believing what Sam said.
Okay.
Things should happen.
I was like, did that have an effect on their relationship though? Because I would imagine like if somebody.
Yes.
Okay. I figured because, but yeah.
So, and that's why it's just like so creepy right now that you would even
bring that up.
Like, oh, you're just like not hiding that you're a creep. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why would you even say, like, Sam literally, I was on the phone with my brother like 3 days ago, and only because I was just like cussing him out about everything, like, you got to stop. Yeah. And the crazy guy told me that my kitty cat was getting wet. I was like, Sam, you're my brother. Like, you're weird. Yeah. Like he said,
your own family.
Dare not repeat. You know what I'm saying? Because everything ain't for everybody. But he was just like saying some weird ass shit. And I'm thinking like the women that is even in your house, how could they even allow you to say things like that? Like my skin is crawling just thinking about it. Like I'm your sister. I'm not your hoe. I'm not your ex-girlfriend. I'm not your play toy. I'm not, I'm not those people, those women. Like don't say nothing sexual to me or about me to anybody else. That's not okay. Like we don't do that incest shit over here. Not me, at least.
Man, absolutely. It'd be your own family.
Yeah. It's disgusting and everybody is creeped out about it. Yeah. Everybody, as we should be.
So Sam too, like in the last couple of months, I think he went to jail. He claimed that you and Keyshia got him put in jail somehow. Is that true?
We don't know what the hell Sam is talking about, okay?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Nobody has called the police on Sam. Nobody has like, these things are, he's trying to, make it seem like he's super tough. Yeah. Like you ain't kidding. And you haven't been our protector and like that. You talk a good game, but his actions are very weak, as we all can see. Yeah. Sam name don't hold no weight in the streets, let's be honest here.
Absolutely. Is there a part of you that kind of not blames your mom for like the disconnect between your siblings, but is there a part of you that kind of wishes like, damn, I wish she kind of would have did more to have us have a relationship, or maybe we wouldn't be going through?
Yeah, sometimes my mom played a role in us feuding. Oh, and I love her.
Was it like playing favorites or?
I don't think it was like necessarily her in a sense. I think it was the other person. And the other person is the drugs and the alcohol. You know what I'm saying? I do believe like, and I at times I wanted her to be the mediator. But who wants to put these roles on people that didn't ask for these roles? True. And it is what it is. Yeah. And now we're old enough and wise enough, we should be able to mediate ourselves. Okay. Sam did nothing but try to put us all against each other.
Man. So have you talked to Ellis?
It's like so unfortunate. It's like I get angry and then it's like a sad moment because it's like, damn, You know what I'm saying? Like, look what it took for even a few of us to start back talking. Look what it took. Look what it took.
Man,
like you're not seeing that. Like, look what it took for only like a few of us to start back communicating. It took like a death. So you want more deaths? Is that what you're asking the universe for? You gotta be careful, you know, and you also gotta be careful to who you praying to. Because I don't know who that man praying to. I don't know. Because God I serve and God I love and God that created us and me and everything like that, he ain't with that.
Okay. So Sam and Ellis, they've just recently connected or reconnected their relationship. Was it like due to
Sam was like disgusted by Ellis because Ellis didn't do anything but show hairy booty pictures on Instagram. So it was like Sam was like completely like disgusted by Ellis and his gayness. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being 1,000 here. Like, he was disgusted at some point by his gayness, and now he's just like, you know, a complete LGBT community representative.
I was gonna say, you think he clicked up with Ellis because he's like jealous of your guys' relationship that you have. So now he's like, I need somebody on my side.
He needs somebody to lie to. Ellis doesn't know all of the truth. Like, Ellis, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, he needs somebody, you know what I'm saying, to like throw on these stories. And Ellis can't, he wasn't there majority of the times that we were there. So Ellis can't say, oh, this is not a true story. Like, Sam is like really animated. He is. And like, he is like, he's animated because like, it's like he sees, he's creating this facade and this character and he's going full throttle with it. And I think Ellis believes it.
You think so?
Yeah, I think Ellis
like it's crazy because
they're you know, like, you know, sometimes trauma attracts too. So it's just like sometimes like a person can be like, oh, well, I was going through this and I was going, oh, okay, so you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's the trauma is a bonding mechanism or whatever. I'm not sure, but it's like, Ellis, you just be quiet, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say what's true and what's not because you don't know. You don't know us, so you can't. And I'm not trying to, I love my brother because it's my brother and it's my mom's son. But nah, you sit back. You know what I'm saying? And not even confirm nothing because you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't say, oh, this and this is not, because all of these are secondhand stories. You were not there for a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And Sam wasn't there for a lot of shit. And I probably wasn't there for a lot of shit that Sam was there for. But guess what? You ain't about to lie for the times that I were there. And you did not take care of your mama by yourself for the last 10 years. That is a lie. Period.
So Ali, at this point, obviously a lot has been said, a lot of damage has been done. Are you open to having a relationship with either Sam or Ellis? Or what would it take for you guys to kind of work towards mending?
Nope. You gotta believe a person when they really, really show you who they are. And we all make mistakes, like I said. But no. Because if I love you and if I really meant it, you know what I'm saying, then I still love you. No love is lost, but no love found either. And nah. Burned. You permanently put a torch to the bridge. Now Ellis maybe. But as long as he's being Sam's peon, that's out. As long as he's being Sam's personal assistant to the hate and the fuck everything party, I'm just not on. I can't do it with Ellis either. Because like my patience is real short with this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not playing with neither one of them. And I told Sam that, like, I know you best. And you ain't no pressure. And if you want war behind my mama and my other siblings, because you can't stay respectful or sane, then it's war.
Yeah.
Stop. Like, just stop. This ain't how to get whatever you're trying to get. If you want fame, this ain't how to get it. There's so many other ways. Go do whatever. Go do whatever. There's so many reasons
with the platform
ways
he has.
People getting recognized and getting on. Like, there's so many other things. Like, I'm so confused.